Hello students, let's begin the second part of the chapter Journey to the End of the Earth, page number 21. Antarctica, because of her simple ecosystem and lack of biodiversity, is the perfect place to study how little changes in the environment can have big repercussions. So, Antarctica is that particular place. If we study this particular place, then we can have an idea about the changes in the environment and how little changes can have a big impact upon the environment. Repercussions here means after effects. Take the microscopic phytoplankton. So here the author has given an example of phytoplankton, those grasses of the sea that nourish and sustain the entire southern ocean's food chain. So phytoplanktons are the grasses which are used as the food chain or used in the food chain. These single-celled plants use the sun's energy to assimilate carbon and synthesize organic compounds in that wondrous and most important of processes called photosynthesis. So phytoplanktons are those single-celled plants which are the component in the food chain in the Southern Ocean. Scientists warn that further depletion in the ozone layer will affect the activities of phytoplankton, which in turn will affect the lives of the marine animals and birds of the region and the globe carbon cycle. In the parable of the phytoplankton, there is a great metaphor for existence. Take care of the small things and the big things will fall into place. So here the author has given us an example of phytoplankton, that the phytoplanktons, if they are missing from the food chain, then the entire food chain will be disturbed, and they may be missing because of further depletion in the ozone layer. The author is trying to explain to us that scientists have already warned about further depletion in the ozone layer, and if it happens, then certainly the activities of phytoplankton would be missing and would be affected. In this parable, in this explanation, in this example of phytoplankton, a great metaphor is there, that is, take care of the small things and the big things will fall into place, which means that if we are taking care of the minutest or the smallest things related to the environment, then certainly the big things will be occurring on its own or will be occurring at the right place. Let's see the author's experience upon the walk on the ocean. My Antarctic experience was full of such epiphanies, but the best occurred just short of the Antarctic Circle at 65.55 degrees south. So, this is how the author has explained her journey, her walk on the ocean. This ocean was frozen, the upper crust or the layer of the ocean was frozen, and how all the students and the author, the whole team, walked upon the ocean. This is explained by the author in this paragraph. The Shokelsky had managed to wedge herself into a thick white stretch of ice between the peninsula and Tadpole Island, which was preventing us from going any further. So the ship named, or the vessel named Shokelsky, it had entered into an area where there was a thick white stretch of ice between the peninsula and Tadpole Island, and the ship could not move further. The captain decided we were going to turn around and head back north. But before we did, we were all instructed to climb down the gangplank and walk on the ocean. Gangplank is that board which is kept between the land and the boat or ship so that people can move or walk on it and come to the land. The same board is called gangplank. So here they had decided, the captain had decided that as they could not move further, so they were bound to move back and shift towards north side. But then before that, they were instructed that they should climb down the gangplank and walk on the ocean. So there we were, all 52 of us. So the team consisted of 52 members kitted out in Gore-Tex and glares, and they were wearing suits and glares, that means sunshades, walking on a stark whiteness that seemed to spread out forever. And they were walking on hard ice sheet. Underneath our feet was a meter thick ice pack. So this ice sheet was 1 meter thick upon which they were moving, and underneath that and below that ice sheet there was 180 meters of living, breathing salt water. So under the ice sheet was salt water. In the periphery, means in the area nearby, or at the boundaries, cremator seals were stretching and sunning themselves on ice floes, much like stray dogs will do under the shade of a banyan tree. So, here the author has explained a very nice simile that as we see stray dogs stretching themselves under the shade of a banyan tree, in the same manner, cremator seals were stretching and sunning themselves on ice floes. Ice floes means ice sheets, big, large ice sheets. 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water, and many ecospheres later, I was still wondering about the beauty of balance in play on our planet. So, all these time zones, ecospheres she has passed through to reach Antarctica, and still the author was wondering about the beauty of the nature. How would it be if Antarctica were to become the warm place that it once used to be? And there arouse many questions in the mind of the team or the people. The first is, how would it be if Antarctica again changes to a warm place? Will we be around to see it, or would we have gone the way of the dinosaurs, mammoths, and woolly rhinos? If it turns into a warm place, will the human beings be around to see it, or the human beings will also extinct like dinosaurs, mammoths, woolly rhinos, etc.? Who is to say? But after spending 2 weeks with a bunch of teenagers who still have the idealism to save the world, all I can say is that a lot can happen in a million years, but what a difference a day makes. So, here the author is trying to explain it to us that she had been to this place with a bunch of teenagers, and these teenagers were still energetic, enthusiastic, and had the ideology to save the world. So she says that a lot can happen in a million years. When nature changes take place, it takes a million years to bring about changes in nature. But what a difference a day makes! It means this particular day, when they had reached this place, their minds have changed and they got much worried about the planet Earth, and certainly they are the future policy makers who would be working in order to save the planet. So that's all for today. The chapter is finished. Thank you.